Chevi Muzic.
Got Jalen, my boy Ryan, Malik, Michaela, and TJ. So I'm sure there's gonna be more people coming in. It's 7:30. People still in traffic. You know what I mean? It's cool. You know what I mean? We here. I appreciate y'all pulling up. Obviously today is the day I'm gonna give y'all a lot about my come up in the music industry, just stuff that I didn't seen, been through and stuff like that, just personal wise, you know what I mean? So this is a good time to, you know what I mean, chill out, relax. You know what I mean? I ain't gonna give y'all the full long story, but I'm gonna give y'all a lot of it, so it's still gonna take a little minute. You know what I mean? So, um, if y'all want to introduce yourself before I do that, that'll be great. So you give a little buffer of time. Can y'all all hear me pretty good?
Yeah.
All
Yeah.
right, bet.
I
So
hear you.
yeah, let's do a little small introduction so everybody can get their little, you know what I'm saying? To get your shine on real fast. So we'll start with Lincoln.
Yeah. So I am an artist and producer from Utah. I originally started as a game designer, and I graduated from university in that. But then my brother and I my brother used to make music, and then he died in a car accident. So I swapped over to music to kind of honor him. And now I've been doing that for about 3 years.
That was up.
Yeah.
All right, smooth. What's
Sorry to hear
good?
that, but welcome. Hey everybody, I'm Smooth Produced This. I'm a music producer, engineer, promoter, actor, and I'm also the HHF Atlanta chapter COO. But music wise, most importantly, I am the Zaytoven's Beats protege.
Mm,
By that, I mean that I have a tag directly from Zaytoven himself saying Smooth going crazy now. And I'm also in basically daily contact with his manager, which,
that's what's up.
if you know who I'm talking about, you know who I'm talking.
That's what's up. But shit, let's keep it rolling. John, you want to introduce yourself?
All right, yeah, what's going on? So I'm Fat Son. I'm from the DMV area, and I'm executive producer. I started my brand Snacks, which started out as a clothing brand and then expanded into interviews. And then I felt like I needed a body of work, representing the DMV area. So I came together with different artists, and we all put on, and that is out. It came out January 17th. Plug. But
Okay.
yeah, that's what's going on. And I'm working on volume 2 right now, and yeah, everything's from the ground up. What you see is, sitting in
That's
my
what's
room one
up.
day with the plan. Yeah.
Hey, that's what's up. That's how I start. That's how I start.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
I appreciate you pulling up. This is the first time I seen you, so thank you, bro, for pulling up. So,
Of course, Julie.
Jalen, you next. You next. What's up? Oh, he said no. We ain't talking. Oh, there you go. What up, Jalen?
Yeah, Jalen the writer. By writer, I do more than just write music. Um, I'm half a Jedi Knights. Y'all find out what that is later.
Oh God.
and
Okay.
I, I fell in love in writing at a young age, and I just continued with it, and I expanded it in all areas, and I look forward to releasing many projects in the near future.
Yes, Shorty is crazy with on the pen. So definitely network with Jalen.
Mhm.
Ryan, my boy, he came through Monday as well. So definitely introduce yourself.
Yo, what's going on, y'all? I'm Ryan. I go by Produced by Ratudo. Um, yeah, producer out here in Virginia. Long story short, grew up playing the drums in the church. So that's like my musical background. I'm still active to this day. Got that, you know, Christian background. And I just love music. I love vibes, and I love art. And music is like one of the most beautiful languages in the world. So I'm ready to chop it up with y'all.
Let's get it. My boy TJ, what's good?
Hey, what's up, y'all? My name is TJ. I'm a singer and a songwriter. Um, I started writing back in 2012. I released my first EP in 2020. I've sung for Nicki Minaj twice on Station Head. I met J.reid through one of his talent shows, and he sung one of my original songs. Ever since then, we've been cool, we've been tight, and we actually have two projects in the making right now that I'm excited to keep continuing working on. But it's nice to be in the company of all these talented artists and producers, and just going in with the vibes and taking in all this knowledge. So I'm glad to be here.
For sure. For sure. We glad to have you. Wayne, what's good?
What's going on? What's going on, Reed?
What
All
up?
right. I'm Wayne Nitty, and I'm actually just a writer, overall creator. I'm an actor. I do what I can to help people, and I'm here to learn, grow, and just make stuff happen, man. So nice to meet everybody.
That what's up. Malik, what's good? Oh,
Having a
okay,
little
there you go.
technical difficulties over here.
Nah, you good.
But I'm a singer songwriter as well. Been in the music industry pretty much all my life. But I don't want to talk too much, so I just want to be here for the vibes, you know?
That's what's up. That's what's up. Shoot. Thank you
Yes,
for
sir.
coming. Michaela, would love to hear from you if you want to introduce yourself.
Hey y'all, I'm currently driving right now, so if you hear honking and all that, it's just traffic.
Okay,
But
okay.
my name's Michaela. I'm a producer, also a musician. I've been playing piano since second grade. Still play piano for my granddad's church, and I've been learning how to produce over the last year. And I'm just excited to grow and learn some things that can help
Yes,
me
sir.
get to the next level.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And we glad to have you here,
To have you
man. Like,
here, man. Like
that's why I did
that's
this,
why
and
I
I think
did
we're getting
this,
a
and I
little
think
reverb.
we're getting a little
Let me see. Maybe I need to put my headphones on, which I think. 'Cause it sounded crazy. All right, so I definitely want to tell y'all exactly what happened. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of y'all probably have like similar situations, and I would love for it to relate to stuff that y'all got going on currently and be able to, give some encouragement. However, you know what I mean? Because like I say to a lot of people, the music grind is not for the weak at heart, depending on what you're trying to do, right? And at the end of the day, you want it to end up being something you do for the rest of your life, for a career, get paid, get money, all that kind of stuff, right? So, like you said, that's not really why I set out to do it, but and that's probably why, I learned a lot of lessons that I did on the way I did it because I love to do it. You did what I'm saying? So, but my coming to y'all and telling y'all this story is because I want y'all to be better, do it times 10 of what the stuff that I had to do. You know what I'm saying? Like the grind that I had to put in, you guys should be able to exceed that by 10 because now you got somebody actually telling y'all it's possible. You did what I'm saying? So my music journey started off in the church as well. I was in church a lot. I didn't play drums in the church. I didn't do nothing as a child. So, that was my first real introduction to Southern soul music. You did what I'm saying? Gospel. From there, my cousin played football at local high school, right? So I would go there every Friday, and then guess what I hear? I hear the band play, right? And this is at fifth, sixth grade or whatever. Just like getting inspired. Somebody calling me. Oh yeah, hold on. Yeah, but like just getting inspired by the marching band. Like if y'all ever been to a football game or just heard of HBCU or anything like that, like you'll know what I'm saying. Like the amount of practice and the instruments, the instrumentation that goes into making a band what it is crazy, right? So I got inspired by the marching band. Around sixth grade, I went to join the band, right? So from the time I joined the band, I've been playing percussion and the drums from sixth grade till I graduated. So if you think about like I did concert band, I did jazz band, I did marching band, of course, and all that stuff really. And I, like say if you took lessons now and you did piano, we got lives. You dig what I'm saying? It's kind of hard to dive fully in a lesson when you got to pay these bills. You dig what I'm saying? But a lot that allowed me to do that every day with no interruption. You see what I'm saying? From a child to teenager. You know what I mean? So I think that in itself gave me the ability to do the stuff that I'm doing now, like making any kind of genre. You did what I'm saying? Like that is my thing. You did what I'm saying? So from there, I went to college. I went to college at Alabama A&M. I ended up dropping out because I failed miserably. You know what I'm saying? So I went to I'm from Atlanta, Georgia. I went to Alabama for a year, partied too hard. I played baseball for a while and failed all my classes. So I had to come back home. You know what I'm saying? And when I got back home, one of the things I was doing in college was making beats. My aunt bought me my first laptop, and I was already making beats. I was making beats from like the 9th grade till I graduated, right? Because one of my friends, his next door neighbors knew about Fruity Loops, right? This is Fruity Loops 3.4. You know, we at 21 right now, or 20, whatever, 20. I don't know which one we on. But my thing is, I knew about Fruity Loops from like the inception. It was something called Fruity Loops Express. If you look that up right now, it's gonna show you the same box, but that was all it was. It was like no extra sounds. It was literally just the programming of the sounds, right? So I've been working with FL Fruity Loops Studio for a long time. You know what I mean? And like I said, college, I was making beats. I was actually like making beats for people at school. You did what I'm saying? So I was really getting my start like that, but I was still in Alabama. There's not really no music scene, especially when I graduated. When I graduated high school, it was like 2005, 2006. So I'm 30 plus. You did what I'm saying? I'm very well in the age spectrum. You did what I'm saying? So um college came, I failed, came back home, and I really started to pursue music, right? So, like I said, like I didn't grow up with anybody in the music industry. I didn't have no older cousins. I didn't have no uh, you know, friends or family, nothing, right? So I'm coming back to Atlanta. I'm just like, yeah, I want to do music. So my cousin, he had a actual studio. So we would just stay in the studio. I make beats, and I was rapping and singing at the time. So I was actually making my own CD. You know what I'm saying? So from that, it started to spread a little bit. Or just, I started to market a lot because now I was in with my homeboys and we was all had songs on the CD, and now we passing the CD out in the streets. So that's how I really got my start into music as far as recording music. From there, we just network, bro. That is the main part of my story I wanted to share, like networking, bro. Because during that time, we didn't have social media. We didn't have YouTube. We didn't have none of that. It was strictly, you got to go to open mics. You got to go to the bars. You got to go to the strip clubs. You know what I'm saying? These were the places where you actually had to meet the people. Like Atlanta back then was Jeezy, and I was coming up in that era, like Gucci. Like these boys, you had to go out. You couldn't just find them on the internet and DM and send them an email. You like the way I met Waka Flocka the first time, I was at a studio and he was like next door. And one of my people was like, hey, come meet Waka Flocka or whatever. They was having a photo shoot. Had to walk over there and go meet him. And he's like, where your beats? Give him a CD full of beats. You see what I'm saying? So that kind of networking, you can't really, it's unbeatable. Your face will be remembered for a while. And as long as you follow up on stuff, you did what I'm saying? So beyond that, after I got my CD, I was rapping and stuff. I met a lot of dope boys and stuff like that in Atlanta and got my name out there. Because now people know I make beats, and now as a dope boy, you're trying to get out the hood. So what are you doing? Rapping. So me, I'm in the trap house making beats for people that's trying to get out the trap house. You see what I'm saying? So, like you said, like I was around when Zay and all these people were coming up, bro. I didn't know nobody. So instead of working with the big trappers, I was working with the everybody else. You know what I'm saying? So my name started to spread like that because now I'm in the streets. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like there's no way around it. I'm around the guys who really in the streets. So it's like, okay, who is that? So I met my manager currently, Bolo, right? Bolo is, I've known Bolo about 13, 14 years, right? Bolo introduced, I was working at this particular studio with my partner Slick, who, like I said, they was all in the streets. I met him and I was making a beat. He had a studio off Metropolitan. I was making a beat at Metropolitan. He had a room. I had my own room. I had my own setup or whatever. I don't know if y'all remember like the board that Timberland had that had like all the fruit. It had a computer and it had the keyboard all in one thing. I forgot the name of it. I have to post it when I find it. But yeah, so met Bolo. Bolo was like, "Oh, I like your beats." I work for Lil Fat and Trill Entertainment, right? So he heard my beats. I was like, excited. He introduced me to Lil Fat first before he passed away, RP Lil Fat. And then he took me straight to Mel and Turk at Trill NT. So I worked with them. They seen my talent. I did some beats for one of their artists. And they were like, you know what? We want you to work with Webby. Webby about to drop another album. So I started to work with Webby. I did a publishing deal with them around 2013. So that was my first publishing deal. And at the time, gotta tell you, I had no clue what the hell a publishing deal was. Right. So it was like they handed me the check, handed me the contract. I'm like, all right, bet. Got the lawyer. All right, well, this is this. Okay, cool. All right. First placement, Show the World with Boosie. As soon as he got out of jail, right? That was about 2013, 2014. I ended up producing Savage Life 4, almost like 18 songs on his album. So basically the whole album of Savage Life 4. So that was my first real like, I'm in the industry. Finally, like no guidance. I'm finally to where my song made it to the radio and it ain't me trying to pay for it or ask people to do it. It's like a real official artist. This one of his biggest songs, Show the World, ended up getting on the Billboard. So it's like he never had no song really on the Billboard except the song, not a solo song, except the songs like IND, Independent and Wipe Me Down. Those are songs that other people alone. So that's not really, a solo record. So this was his first solo big record on radio. So this is my, I'm fresh. I don't know nothing. So it was a very great accomplishment at that time. Got a lot of opportunities. They ended up getting a studio up here. So we ended up working in the studio up here. So, time go by, they left, I had the studio, me and Bolo started working in the studio. And then I got a chance to get KY in the studio. So it's me, KY, and my other partner, and we own the studio together. So now we got people like Jack Harlow coming in the studio. Now we got people like Moneybag Yo coming in the studio before he got big. So my other placement, and even before that, I forgot to name a lot of the artists I worked with Trill. Trill, of course, Webby, Boosie. Then we got OMG Girls. Then I got Jagged Edge. Then 1Kago. Then countless, bro. That's with Trill. Then we get with KY and get them in the studio. Then I got Salma Slims. Then I got Jack Harlow, of course. I did like 4 records with Jack Harlow when he was just starting. Um, and like I said, Moneybag Yo, I did Have You Ever for Moneybag Yo, which is one of the highest played songs on my mixtape because my mixtape was hot back then. Obviously, they weren't even dropping on Apple Music like that. So, fast forward, we got a lot of motion going on. Now my name out there officially, people really liking my sound. But I'm still in the streets. I'm still working with everybody because that was my stilo. Like, of course, I was getting paid, but at the end of the day, sometimes you got to you got to read the room. You see what I'm saying? You can't be like, oh, like I know what I have already done at the stage with Boosie, right? I should have been charging at least 10 or not 10. I'm gonna say 1,500, 5,000 a beat, right? We're gonna say that. But if I did that, would I have been able to really get clientele over time that was coming in that didn't have $1,500, $5,000? No. And you got to think your portfolio only goes as far as your work that's published, not what you do at home with your computer. Who gives a crap? You see what I'm saying? It's the work that's published that counts. That's just like what I was saying the other day about the major leagues. When you're talking about somebody want to give you a deal, it's only because you're good and you have music that's selling, right? So all this deal talk, I was green. Like I said, I didn't have a lawyer at the time. I was green. I got Bolo, but at the end of the day, he ain't never had no producer signed. You know what I'm saying? So everything is like, okay, we can try this with these my folks. Let's see how I go. You know what I mean? So, like I said, I think that all taught me, like, bro, you got to have your stuff together before you jump in this game. Any game, I don't care if you're doing plumbing, you got to go to school. But guess what? They don't make you go to school for music industry, and you know why? It's because it's a gate-kept industry, and when you don't know is when I make money. Think about it. If I can get over you every time, then I'm gonna make sure I do because I'm gonna eat off of it. And if I'm not eating off of it, why are we talking? You see what I'm saying? So keep that in mind when we talk about deals. But I got people to come. We gonna get all to that, bro. I swear to God. Like everybody I called, they like excited. They want to come on here and start spilling the juice. You did what I'm saying? All right, so we got the Moneybag Yo. We got all these records. Jack Harlow. That was like, oh man, I got Jack Harlow. Then I met my partner Jasper Cameron, who's a outstanding writer. He wrote a lot of stuff for Sierra, Nelly, multi-platinum writer. You did what I'm saying? He introduced me to Lloyd. Lloyd, I ended up did 5 songs on his True album, which one of them was Caramel, which was the single. Right? That's R&B. That's totally different from trap Moneybag Yo sound. You did what I'm saying? So that point is to say, when you do produce, make all kind of beats, bro. All kind of beats. Because if you stay in this one lane, you're gonna have a ceiling. And trap music only can go so far. You got to be able to make different kind of music. All right, so ended up still working. Like I said I was in the street still because I was still working with people that didn't have the budgets, right? So or not even just that, but just still like networking. I'm not. I at that point I still didn't feel like I made it, so I'm still grinding like with everybody. So I was working with this independent label named Full Blown NT, right? And they had a few artists. One of them happened to be Brinks Billions, right? Brinks Billions had a relationship with Nicki Minaj, whether friends or more, I have no clue. I just know he knew her for about 8 years, right? Me and Brinks were making, the owner of the label was paying me $1,500 a month to engineer and make beats for all these artists. Whenever we got the album together, he would pay me for the song. So that's a great job in the music industry because now I know I'm getting a monthly check for just showing up to the session and recording, and I'm making the beat on the spot. So not only are we making the beat, I'm recording and producing you as an artist. So now I'm really coming into like, okay, this is production right here. I got 100% control over how this song gonna end up coming out. You know what I'm saying? So me and him did about 20 songs, and one of the songs he loved, and it just happened to be Rich Sex, right? Rich Sex for Nicki Minaj. Y'all go look it up. It's got with Lil Wayne on it. That's one of her biggest songs off the Queen album, which is this album right here, Queen. So prior to that, though, me and him was working. He had been saying, you know, he knew her and all this stuff, but obviously, how would I know? I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Everybody knows somebody. But you know, he went out of town. I didn't know, you know, it wasn't no really like, oh, I'm going out here to see Nicki. He went out of town. He takes the songs with him. He goes to her studio, obviously, and he plays her Rich Six. He calls me at 3:00 in the morning, and he's like, bro, like, send me the stems for the beat. I'm like, huh? I'm not sending you the stems for the beat. I don't care who it is. Like, I've been doing this. You can't really, like, no, we're not getting the stems for the beat because that's how I get paid. So if you get the stems, you can easily get somebody to make the beat over. And what do I get after that? Like, the beat is what is, you know what I'm saying? You're stuck. It's gone. You don't have no ties to it unless these people want to be fair, which at that time, I don't know anybody. I'm not trusting like I said, you my homeboy, we're an associate, but I'm not trusting you to handle my business because you're not my manager at this time. You know what I'm saying? So I can't say, okay, yes, I'm gonna just send you the stems. Bruh, it was like, he was like, all right, bro, I'm gonna let you know. I'm gonna show you. He goes and he pulled something up, bro, and it was like, yes, this is where I'm at. Like, I'm like, okay, here are the stems. Like, it's no question at that point. Like, now I'm like, okay, bro, that's the point I was making about the money. Sometimes the money will mess you up because you're trying to make sure you get this money and not see the bigger picture. Because a lot of times the money will cloud that based off, I gotta have my money. Like, everybody have felt like that. I know that. But sometimes you gotta be like, all right, let's see where it goes. Now, if it goes sour, you know who go see. But at the end of the day, sometimes you gotta test the waters. You know, you can't just be stiff all the time about music and money because, you know, nowadays ain't really who is buying music. You know what I'm saying? Beats, especially, like, people not really buying beats like that. Let me be honest. So it's like, okay, how are you gonna leverage your music making, like Lincoln, which is becoming an artist and making beats? You did, like myself, like J.reid, who's using AI to really bring his music forward. You did what I'm saying? So it's ways to do what you want to do, you know, nowadays. So I know I got off track a little bit, but so he basically was like, you know what? She loved the song. You know, she want to fly you out here. I'm like, damn, okay, this is crazy. It's moving fast. I don't know nobody. I know you, but it's like, okay, dang, all right. So he was like, call her assistant, or they're gonna call you. I gave them your number. They're gonna set up all the flights and stuff, all that type of. I'm like, all right, bet. Called them. They was like, yeah, you J.reid. I'm like, yeah. They like, okay, well, you know, we gonna book your flight for this day, and then, you know, you're gonna be there for about 2 or 3 days, and then you're gonna come back. I was like, all right, bet. Sound good. I pack my bags. I'm ready to go. Don't you know, they sent a limousine to come get me, bro. I stayed all the way in Lawrenceville, Georgia at the time, or Beaufort. And from Beaufort, Georgia to the airport is like an hour, bro. It was not an Uber. When I opened the door and I seen this guy ready to get my bags, I'm like, bro, this is different. I'm from the trenches. I'm from, Atlanta, east side of Atlanta, Georgia. And I've never seen nobody come to my door and try to get my bags, right? So I'm like, all right, I'm like, okay, this is dope. This is different. I get in the limo. So my wife, and then I had an artist stand with me at the time named Crush. So he's seeing all this in real time, like, oh my God, this is crazy. Wifey, she filming this. She like, bye. I'm kiss her bye. I'm like, dang, this like, I'm finna go. So getting the limousine, they got snacks, they got everything. I'm like, dang, this is like a Hollywood dream story type shit. I'm like, okay, cool. So get to the airport, get to the flight, everything smooth. Get off the plane. We going to Miami. I go to Miami. Get off the plane. They like J.reid with the sign at the bottom of the steps. I'm like, oh man, this is awesome. You know what I mean? So just coming from, like I said, where I come from, to see an artist even care that much, to go that far, to roll the red carpet out for you, not knowing you from a tick from tat. This is my first time going to see her. And it's like, I've never had this experience. I done worked with all the artists in the world. I didn't did a lot with a lot of people, and this experience is totally different, right? So I get to the hotel. They take me to the hotel. First person I'm meeting is Brinks, because he set up the whole place. So he's like, come outside. He pulls up, Range Rover. I'm like, all right, bet, let's go. Like, bringing my bags. I don't know where I'm going. Bring my computer. He take me to the Hit Factory. The Hit Factory, well, everybody damn near in Cash Money was working at the time. People I see at that, like, I'm rolling up, not rolling up physically, but rolling up in the car. And I'm like, Brinks, do you have some rolling up? And he's like, yeah, man, this is Miami. It's legal. I'm like, what? Wow. Okay, cool. So first person I see, he like, just chill out here. You can put your bags down. She end up working. You know what I mean? I'm nervous. Now I'm nervous. Cause now I'm like, bro, I'm really here. And she in there. I see the pink cars. And then I see somebody roll up in the Maybach, Birdman and NBA Youngboy. I'm like, bro, like, what is going on right now? You know what I'm saying? Like, this is crazy, bro. Like, so I go into the little studio. They got a little lounge or whatever, plaques all over the wall, crazy plaques, and I gotta sit, wait. She like, he like, yeah, just wait. She gonna call you in, whatever. So he called me in. I'm nervous, bro. Like, I'm not nervous to the point where I'm gonna freak out, but nervous to the point, like, obviously, I always tell my child, I'm like, bro, you can't anticipate the moment. Because once you start anticipating what's going to happen and making up in your mind what's going to happen, you're going to start getting nervous. You know what I'm saying? So going into this meeting, this is the first time I'm ever meeting her. Dope individual, superstar. I work with a lot of people, but not a superstar. She's a superstar, bro. No, dope studio, big studio. I walk in and she like, so that's nice to meet you. Do you want to drink? We in there drinking Hennessy. I'm like, yes, please. Give me a shot, give me a glass, please. I need it. You know what I'm saying? So she like, what have you done? I'm like, Jesus Christ. This is an interview. You know what I'm saying? This is not what I thought it was gonna be. Which is, like you said, you got to be ready for anything. You don't know. She's like, what have you done? I play Show the World. She's like, oh, okay, that's dope. I play songs with Lloyd because they had came out by that time. She's like, oh, yeah, that's dope. I like them. Then she was like, well, like, what are you kind of, you know what I'm saying? What are you trying to do? I'm like, shit, really, like, if I just work with you, I'm good. Like, I don't even really have to do nothing. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not thirsty. I'm not like trying to, I'm trying to be the big. I'm not trying to do none of that. I was like, look, whatever you need me to do, I want to do that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, let me do with that part first. Let me show you that, you know what I mean? So I'm like, cool. She like, yeah, man, she cool as hell, man. Like, you know, if you ever, any of you guys been around celebrities or people of, you know, I guess prominence, they popular or whatever, everybody's not the coolest person, especially when it comes to people they don't know, right? You know, and that I've experienced that a ton, but not with this person. It's so crazy because none of the people that I've experienced that with are nowhere near big as she is. And she talks to me like a person. And as somebody that's not nowhere rich as her, nowhere near as popular, like I said, that's a rarity. And so that's something that I appreciated. And like you said, she rolled out the red carpet for me, man. She gave me the opportunity. The first song she actually played for me that she had already done before me and her actually got in the studio was Ganja Burn, right? Ganja Burn was a beat that Brinks had sent her already, and she had already did a song on it. So now I got Ganja Burn and I got Rich Six. So now I'm like, this finna be crazy. You know what I mean? So time went on. She ended up flying me. I go home. She ended up flying me back to Cali. And in that trip, she sends me a text and says, I have some bars that I want you to make a beat around. And lo and behold, it's just like some regular bars. And I'm like, all right, bet. She booked the whole studio for me, gave me about as many hours as I needed, went in the studio, made 12 beats, right? 12 beats to match these bars because she wanted some boom bap type beats, right? Out of 12 of those beats, 2 of those beats ended up being Barbie Teens and Chun-Li. You see what I'm saying? So it was like magic, bro. Like when the video is out on YouTube, we played it last week on Brink's channel, and like I said, I'm gonna actually post it probably again on our chat. You know what I mean? So everybody can just see it. It'll be up there. But just being in the studio with her, bro, and her bigging me up and her giving me great compliments, it just boosted my confidence when it coming to making hits now. You know what I mean? Like now I know it's not even a question. Now I know what I'm doing. That's what that moment came. You know what I'm saying? So like, and that's why I say, like, I want everybody to experience that moment, bro. Why wouldn't I want you to experience that moment? You know, it's there for you, but it may come different. It may not be the same artist. It may not be the same way it happened, but at the end of the day, it can happen, bro. And like I said, I didn't know nobody. So from going from knowing nobody, going through college, all that shit, and reaching this level of success with a person who's bigger than the top artist in the world. We just gonna say the top female rapper in the world, right? Hands down. To be able to make big records with her, and it just showed me like, dang, bro, you got what it takes, bro. You know what I mean? So from that point, we made, I think, the song with The Weeknd, which is I Thought I Knew You. Then I think, yeah, that's the name of the song. I Thought I Knew You, Rich Sex, Ganja Burn, Chun-Li, and Barbie Teens ended up being on that one album. So I had 5 songs on one project. So that was my official like entrance. And that summer I had Lloyd songs on the radio and I had her songs on the radio. So that was my run, right? And it's not easy to get another one. You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, it just showed me like, bro, this is what I want to do in life. I love to do it. And then boom, the pandemic happened. Lord Jesus. Slow down every single move that everybody was trying to make, you know, had multiple offers on the table. I didn't take any offers, you know. It was a lot going on at that time. It was moving fast. So at the end of the day, like, you know, I'm a very logical thinking type of dude too, bro. Like I had $3 million on the table. It'd have been a great $3 million. But guess what? When I start looking at the numbers and looking at different things, it wasn't worth it. Because possibly I wasn't going to get nothing but 1.8 out of the 3 million. And guess what I would have had to pay back? $3 million. So that kind of stuff goes on in the industry, and that's kind of stuff that I want to introduce and tell you guys about, with industry lawyers, with admin, with publishers, people that have seen these kind of cases and stuff going on all the time. You know what I mean? So, you know, obviously my latest placement with Nicki Minaj is the Pink Friday Girls, off our last album. And like, what you talking? My dog is going crazy. Hey man, relax, relax. All right, so yes, that's was my last song with her. It went gold, and it was like number 7 on TikTok for about 2-3 weeks. So hey man, it was a great experience. I'm still rolling. I have my own company called Chevi Music LLC, but my own music company. I do multiple artists. I work with everybody. Like I got a female artist named Morgan now. I got artists I work with, Sanchez, like man, multiple, myself as an artist. You know what I'm saying? Like I think that helped me build my foundation. But now it's time to stand and build more things, obviously, like because I can celebrate myself and I can make beats and I can do all this stuff on internet. But to me, it really didn't have a long-standing impact. I didn't see the longevity in doing that. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, I've already reached that pinnacle. What do I need to keep proving that I can make beats for on the internet? That doesn't make any sense to me. So that's kind of why, my content with beat making, I still do it. But as y'all see, a lot of this stuff, you have to diversify what you're doing as far as content and not just give people one thing all the time, especially if it's not going to catch. You dig what I'm saying? So, um, that's the story. That's the short version. That's the real, very detailed short version of my music journey. I would love to hear any questions y'all had, you know what I mean, if any. And like I said, I'll be diving into deeper situations so y'all will know like the business aspect of going through that situation and going through and getting the money and how the money came and all that kind of stuff. Like it's super deep. You know what I'm saying? It's not like something that, oh, my song on the radio, they're gonna just send me a big check. You damn near gotta go find it. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I want to. My buddy next week, he's gonna come on here. His name David Pelham, and he's been working in Tennessee in publishing for about 10 years, and he helped me get my first master check because them folks was not finna even tell me it was there. You know what I'm saying? So this is a real game, and you got to know how to play it. And I'm honored to be able to help y'all know more, or like I said, whatever y'all want to know, let me know. Like put it in the chat, send me a DM on here, because that's why I'm here. Like I'm opening it up for that channel because, like you said, there's too many gatekeepers. I say that all the time because it is. If people didn't gatekeep, people would be well informed. But now we got Chat GPT. And if you're not using Chat GPT to get yourself informed about a lot of the stuff that you're trying to get into, it's going to be your fault. Because I asked Chat GPT about a car part the other day that I hit the dealership about, and they was like, yes, that's exactly what it is. And I'm like, yeah, because you can't lie to me no more. So opening up the questions, man. I done talked for 30, 45 minutes, man. I appreciate y'all tuning in and staying on and interacting, bro. Like, it means a lot. So definitely, if y'all got any questions, I would love to hear them.
What happened to those other 10 beats?
I got
So the other
it.
10 beats are on my something. You gotta mute the thing. Because I can yeah, I'm loud as hell. All right, yeah. So the other 10 beats, they on my computer because she didn't get them. But in that video I'm gonna post it after this. She literally went through all the beats and picked a couple. So it was like, okay, I don't mind about the other 10 beats, but like you said, hey, they still available. They still in my what's the name? Maybe I put them on SoundCloud or something, but I don't want to. You know
Please
what
don't.
I'm saying? So you
Say
try to
less.
chop them up.
Yeah, we got those.
I got you. Well, yeah, that's what happened to the other 10 beats. All right. Anybody else? What we got?
I got a question.
Okay.
So when it comes to like your royalty percentage, what type of percentage is acceptable, you would say, to ask for when it comes to a major artist such as a Nicki or Jack Harlow? Because you don't want to say 50-50, because it's highly unlikely that at that stage that you would get a 50-50 split.
Well, as far as
As
masters,
far as
he used to
masters,
say, "Hey,
he
dog."
used to say, "Hey, dog."
All right. As far as
All right.
masters
As
on the
far as
big
masters
label,
on the big
mute your
label,
thing too, brother.
mute your thing too, brother.
Appreciate it, bro. Uh, Masters typically range from 3 to 4% as far as that. You have you ever heard somebody say points? Or you get 3 points on the record or whatever. That is what it is. You're getting 3% of the master, and that's a standard rate because you got to think it's not going to be 50 because that's why. Let's say back in the day in the 90s, right? Timberland, somebody like they was bragging so hard. Oh, we spent we was getting paid 100 grand per beat, right? But that's because they didn't care about the masters, because if the song sold or not, we still got $100,000. You know what I'm saying? But these days, we don't get $100,000. It's more like 10 or 20, right? Maybe at the most. So when you get that advance, that's an advance against your masters, your master percentage. A lot of these artists don't even get 50% of their master. The standard rate of an artist going into a major label deal is about 15%. So that's why I always talk about like the economics of music, bro. People not having that kind of money all the time unless they do major deals with their publishing. You did what I'm saying? The publishing is what people do deals over, because the masters is already sold up. Because think about it. And I talked about this on I did a YouTube video. I didn't go in depth, but this is a good time to go in depth. The masters are owned by the record label because they're paying everybody, right? They're paying the engineer, they're paying the mastering engineer, they're paying you as a producer, they're paying the artwork guy, they're paying the video guy, all out of this one budget. So let's say the artist for this song in particular, they had $100,000 budget, right? Let's say they got 15%, right? Of this song, you produced it. Of that 100%, you got 3. So between you and the artist, y'all have 18% of 100% of this master, because none of y'all didn't come out y'all pocket to pay for nothing, right? So therefore, you have spent they spend the money for you, and they tell you, okay, this is how much you owe, right? That money that they paid you, that whatever, 75, 10,000, 20,000, that goes against your account in masters, right? So whatever it takes, that 3% you got, and you owe 20,000, whatever time it takes to gain that 20,000 back, that's how you get paid. You know, you get paid from earning your money back, and them canceling your debt, and then they'll pay you from that point. So a lot of these artists don't get paid on their master, or they don't own their masters. Why? Because they're still in debt. They still owe hundreds of thousands or millions of dollars to this record label, and now their masters are sold up. So what the record label does is, like you said, they're not gonna go out here. If your album didn't go platinum in the first 6 months, and you didn't spend $1 million on this album, you think we're gonna give you some more money? No, because guess what? You owe me $1 million, and it didn't sell. So now you're shelved. Now you're gonna be telling everybody, "Oh, I got dropped by the label, and I can't drop no more music." It's because you didn't have a real buzz. You didn't really have a mainstream fan base. So therefore, you rely on the label to help you make a mainstream fan base. And you lost, because guess what? Now you owe this label millions of dollars. And let's say you got a publishing deal. Now you gotta say, the label not gonna give you $1 million. They might give you a little bit off this advance. They might give you, if you got $1 million deal, they give you maybe 150, 200. But the rest we're putting up because we got to make our money back. We got to do radio. We got to do marketing. That's why music is a very, very interesting industry, the way it's run in the past. But now with the art of the independents, we don't have the access to the markets they do, but you have access to market your music for virtually free if you do what you got to do on here. Producers alike. If you are a producer on this channel, writer, whoever you are, artist, if you're not making content, you are hurting yourself in the long run. Because content is the number one driver to whatever you're doing. Just like this, right? I was doing content, but it was scattered. I couldn't get 10 people in one room with my Instagram or with my TikTok because it's too scattered. I got people everywhere. And people I had coming for various reasons. They weren't just coming to me because I'm a producer and I work with, they was really coming to me because I work with Nicki Minaj, right? So now it's like, you have to build your own. That's why I encourage y'all, if y'all got something y'all want to teach, or go on school and do your own thing, bro. Because at the end of the day, you're gonna need a community of people to interact with. This is just a networking channel. That's all we're doing. Because ultimately, all of us are in different places, and we are soaking up game from different points of view. You did what I'm saying? Bricks is a great example. He be in Africa. He be in England. You know what I mean? So he's all over and he's still doing his thing and having the platform to be able to share his story, his knowledge. You did what I'm saying? So that's kind of what it's come down to as far as production. Like, yes, you still network, go to the club, go to your local stuff, bro. Because if you can't win at home, how you gonna win when you come to Atlanta? Or how you gonna win when you go to LA? You're not gonna win because you haven't mastered the art of networking first. You did what I'm saying? Or being in the room and soaking up the game, reading the room, talking to the right people. My boy Smooth, I met him at a beat battle. You did what I'm saying? So at the end, not a beat battle, but it was a beat showcase. So at the end of the day, in order to get that connection, Shawty had to register for the beat showcase. So this is stuff that you got to be looking for. You got to be willing to put yourself in and be willing to network, man. That's the key to my whole story. Like I said, bro, like if I wasn't working for pennies to really get in the right rooms or not getting paid at all to engineering to get beat placements, none of this stuff would have been happening, bro. Because guess what? I learned how to engineer first. I learned how to record and mix a little bit enough to where at that time people can take out the studio and take it with them. So not only did I make the beat when they came in, I engineered the session and I mixed it a little bit so they can take it home. So imagine what kind of, rapport that built for me. When I come in your room, we're not gonna lose. Now time, we're not gonna waste time and we're not gonna lose because you're gonna have a dope ass beat and it's gonna sound good and we going home. So like I said, it's if you don't know how to engineer or record, use Pro Tools, we need to start doing some of that too, because that is going to open even more rooms up for you because you know how to be quiet, hit record and say and get it right, because your name will go way further because people will start being like, oh, Shawty over there and his beats hard. Now you got him hooked because now you're a one-stop shop. We don't need to go get an engineer and a producer. You're the producer and the engineer. You know what I mean? So at this stage, I'm sure like we're all over 25. I can say that. I don't know. Is there anybody over here like 18? I know Ryan said he just got out of high school not too long ago. But other than that, like we should all know how to socialize, or if you don't, build that and work on it. Work on socializing. In this time, you can't afford to be antisocial. You can't, because the internet is free. If you get on here enough times, people will pay attention. If you're talking about the right stuff, people pay attention. And if you're doing the right stuff, and you showing your talent, people gonna pay attention. So it's no excuses no more. You know what I mean? And I don't want that for our group right here because that's what I'm pushing. Like I don't let my child give me excuses. And if she do, I'm on it. You know what I mean? So it's like, bro, we don't have time for excuses because, like I said Monday, like, bro, people get out here every day. People die every day at an alarming rate. And if that were us, would we be like, if we was on our bed, would we be like, I wish I did this? That's the mentality you got to live by every day. Because if you are not doing exactly what you want to do with all the tools we got going on, it's your fault. Period. You got to look in the mirror sometimes and say, you know what? I'm not where I want to be in life. How am I going to get there? And if that don't motivate you, then like you said, you ain't got a soul. You got to blame yourself sometimes in order to get the realest response, bro. You know what I mean? And sometimes they take meditating, praying, and that's a main part of my success too, bro. Pray and meditate, bro, because it's so much craziness going on in the world, not only in the music industry, but the world. You got to stay prayed up, bro, and you got to stay humble and willing to learn more and build your own craft amongst the chaos. You did what I'm saying? So, like I said, now it's the time to build everything you want to. Like, it's so many platforms, it's so many tools to help you make better music, Splice, and I'm a big fan of Suno. So if anybody on his chat doesn't like AI, you gonna hate me and Jay Lynn. All right. Because Suno and AI is the shit. And I'm only saying that because I know music. I can play piano back and forth. But the things that this thing is capable of, bro, it has not happened in history. This is and I tell people all the time, we're living in history. We're the first generation to see AI. And people got a problem with it because they're scared of their job. Screw your job. We can all right now go to Twitch, let these boys stream, clip their streams, and make $20,000 a month. I see people talking about it all the time. You see what I'm saying? It's about this, bro. Using your brain, bro, and using the power of something that may know more than you. Because guess what? It's not going to hold secrets like your best friends do, but that want to compete against you. They're not going to gatekeep. ChatGPT is going to tell you the truth and nothing but the truth. So help me God. Every time. So make these tools your friends and don't make it like let it think for you. Use it as a tool. It's an extension of your own hand, your own brain. It's going to do what you say. But if you don't tell it nothing, guess what it's going to do? Sit there still, work for everybody else. We see everybody else making hundreds of $1,000s a year doing the smallest stuff. And we be like, how the hell they do that? They probably ain't even think of it. You know what I'm saying? So it's time to really that's why I think this collective platform is gonna help build something, bro, because we are the start of a generation that's in technology knee deep now. You know, they got flying cars, so we living in the Jetson times. They got robots and shit. Come on, man. We can't be the last one to use all of it, because what's gonna happen? We're gonna be left behind. And we're the musicians. So as musicians, we're the ones putting out the waves of the future, bro. And if we don't go to the next level, where the artists gonna go? They don't know. They going back to the 80s and 90s still. Sampling. Because they don't know. They don't have the talent. Some of them don't, some of them don't have the talent to push music where it should go. Because everybody's scared. Everybody got this going on. They want this, and they don't want to push the art. And in turn, pushing the art is actually going to help you get more of this. That's what they don't understand. So when you at home and you on your weird shit, stay on your weird shit, bro. Don't be trying to conform to what's going on, bro, because that's not working no more, obviously. People not selling records like they was back in the day. They struggling. That's why you don't see major artists doing what? They was like 2 years ago, everybody was dropping every Friday. Ain't nobody dropping no more because they scared they won't sell records. What look Offset album? I love all these people. I love these artists. 26,000 copies. They said Lil Baby album, 8,000 copies. These people They spend a lot of money. Lucci album, 24,000 copies first week. These are the big rappers. Taylor Swift, 4 million copies first week. What the hell? You think I want to be over there with them? Or you think I want to be over there with her? And in order to be over there with her, you got to make some hits. You got to know
Oh
your
yeah.
music. You got to be able to bounce around and do different stuff. Everybody's Doja Cat last album was straight 80s. Go listen to it. So you gotta build your craft, bro. That's the main thing. Like, I only got in front of Nicki Minaj because I'm from Atlanta. I ended up making a boom bap beat, bro. That worked. Bricks was like, bro, how did you even come up with? I don't know. I was over there and I was hyped. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was extra hyped, bro. I was really in this like big studios with the big artists. It's like, bro, I'm on the NFL. I'm here.
Real talk. I made it.
You see what I'm saying? So it's like, bro, I want every one and the last one of y'all to get to that point where you gonna feel like you made it. But the only way you're gonna get there is knowing your stuff and building your craft right now. Don't wait. Find you a piano class. Bricks do piano classes. I'm actually gonna do a PDF that gives a lot of chords that's like regular chords, bro, that people can play. Easy shit. You know what I mean? Because I feel like that is the foundation of music, and we don't have it right now. I don't know. We can't name 2 famous electric guitar players, bro. I'm not, mainstream. Prince was Leon Thomas. He came out, he playing the guitar and stuff now, right? But it's not many, bro. It's not too many people just playing instruments, singing, and doing stuff like that no more.
No.
So it's time to really set the next tone for what's gonna be next. Obviously, like I said, we still using AI now. We ain't short of using that. So definitely, they ain't paying me yet, but definitely go use Suno. Go use Suno, bro. If y'all haven't tried Suno.com, try Suno.com, bro. It's gonna blow your mind. If you were a writer and you write poetry, go use Suno.com, and it's gonna put a song with your poetry. If you're a producer and you want loops, go in there and type, I need African bongos with a marching band in the background. You're gonna get it. Okay. So the Splice is good, but if you're gonna pay $10 a month and you can curate your own loops, that's 10 times better than Splice. You know what I mean? So that's, like I said, a little game, bro. Like, let's keep on. Any more questions? I don't want to keep talking.
Yeah, I got a question, bro. I've been working on my BeatStars account, man,
You did
and
say
I wanted to know, like, when you first started trying to sell your beats online, like, especially with BeatStars, like, did it take you a minute to sell your first beat, or like, what was that process like?
I mean, obviously I had a little buzz. When I created mine, they actually gave me my BeatStars account because I was like, I don't want to sell no beats on here for what? I'm gonna sell them. These my beat. You know what I'm saying? I was not trying to sell no beats on there, but I think it just made sense because it's like, okay, I can have these other kind of caliber beats on here just to see if we're getting some traction. It took a little minute because of the pricing, because I had them a little higher than what people are normally paying for BeatStar beats. They're leasing them for $10 or free or nothing. You did what I'm saying? So that didn't really feel right for me. But once I put one of them down to $10 and then I made like a Sexy Red type beat, that it got on out of here. It started. So it's like sometimes, see, for money, art for money is dumbing your stuff down and fitting it in. Think about it. It just is what it is. It's a service. You're a beat maker now. So now I have to give you what you might want, not no different stuff. As an artist, you can afford to be different. As a beat maker, sometimes as a service, if you're in the art studio with an artist, you can't really afford to do your own thing, because once you do, they're gonna be like, it's cool. But if you do something they really like, they're gonna go after it. So I think just think of it like that. Like you don't want to just give it, give it your own sauce, but definitely like you're gonna have to conform some kind of way for a sound of people that are looking for these type of beats, because it's just not a whole lot of people just getting R&B beat star beats. You dig what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So just look at your market, your niche. If you're gonna niche in straight trap beats for
Mm-hmm.
BeatStars, stay right there. If you're gonna do just
Mm-hmm.
R&B, or you do all of it, but I'm saying like what you market out there, you still gonna have to make YouTubes, you still gonna have to make content to market the fact that you have a BeatStars account. Just say, hey y'all, I'm
Right.
doing a sale for beats. I seen this craziness. 50 beats for $10. Don't do that, please. That's messing up our industry. I'm swear to God, I see that junk a lot of times, and people don't realize how bad that make us look. It make us look cheap, and everybody's not in the same boat. You know what I mean?
Yeah, right. Absolutely.
But if you came on here, or if somebody went to BeatStars and they bought 10 beats for $50 or whatever, and they come to me and they be like, "Oh, I paid $10 or I paid $50." They don't think nothing wrong with that.
Mm.
You know what I mean? So it's really dumbing our industry down. Like it's really hurting it in the long run. That's why it's like,
Yeah, $10 beats. You be like, come on now.
or I just did a skit on the YouTube beats, bro. Like I don't mind YouTube beats, but it's the parameters around what people try to do with these YouTube beats. I've ran into
Mm.
so many artists that have the same beat on their projects and act like everything
Mm-mm-mm.
cool.
I can't stand that right there.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, that's what's gonna happen when you got a YouTube beat that got 4 million views on it.
Mm. I'm
Everybody gonna
greedy. I don't
download
want
it.
nobody to have my beat.
Right. But at the end of the day, what's making it exclusive? Yes, it's a dope beat. Not everybody got it, but you're not even making money off of it. You done went popular and you're not even making money off your best beat. Because they ain't registered.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just, that's the ins and outs of our industry right now. I think we reached a ceiling, and it's only a few people as artists putting out music. So now you got all these millions of producers trying to work with these 10 artists who consistently put out music.
Well, and
Mm.
another thing is like a lot of the artists that do drop will be similar to like how you worked with Nikki, where they have their producers they already work with, right? Like
Exactly.
J.reid and Christo, like his whole album was basically produced by Christo.
Exactly, bro. And
Mm.
that's what I'm telling y'all. Stop. I don't want this channel to be an advocate for chasing placements. I want
Right.
the channel to be an advocate for building your own shit. Because
And
once you do
collaboration.
that, you won't have to do nothing else. They're gonna come to you if they really want it. But you have more chances on building your own thing and getting noticed before you try to
Absolutely.
get out here and chase a manager down or chase somebody down and really get a relationship with them folks. Like you said, Smooth stay
100%.
here in Atlanta. You stay here in Atlanta, it's easy to bump into Zato. It's easy to bump into all kind of artists and producers here because they everywhere. You know what I mean? We be outside. So it's a difference. But if you stay somewhere like TJ in Nevada, what's the odds of me running to a real superstar here or somebody that can really put me on? It's very low. So you gotta build where you at, bro. That was the whole reason I said you gotta build where you at. You have to take advantage of, okay, who is artists here, bro? Let me collab with them. Let me get in these circles here because it's at least they doing something. And if they not doing something, you be the person to start doing the stuff. You see what I'm saying? You hold your own events and put open mics on and stuff. Like, make your own money. We not in this to just be broke. We in here to make money. Who says we just got to be a beat maker? You can
Right.
be an eventist. You should throw events for producers who in your area so you can know, okay, these guys are actually working.
Right.
Let me put all this together, and now maybe we can collab and get our own group started and our own, you know what I mean? So that's kind of what I live in right now because I know for a fact this is like somebody explained to me getting big placements is like a unicorn, finding a unicorn. And that broke my heart. But when it took 4-5 years to get another one, it made sense. You know what I'm saying? Because what was I doing in that 4-5 years? Grinding still and trying to,
Work.
work. I chilled out for a little bit because now I done made it a little bit. So I'm like, yeah, I'm enjoy it. But now it's like, dang, pandemic.
Right.
What's going on now? She don't want to get in the studio right now. She's scared. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, bro, you got to. The one thing I was missing was building something for myself. What I did do was get artists.
Right.
I did find some artists. I found the artist named Jamar and I found the artist named Morgan. You see what I'm saying? So I did build something outside of Nicki Minaj for my own. It's just sometimes the work ethic is not there for everybody. So sometimes it's like it's better to put it on your own back. If you can do whatever you need to do for yourself and this music that you love, do it yourself, dog. If you got to do a beat tape and put it on Apple Music every other week, which I see people doing, do it, bro. You know what I mean? I look on TikTok sometimes and it's a producer on there and I feel like he upload all his beats and give them names that match niches. So when somebody look up happy birthday on TikTok, at least it might show up in a list. You see what I'm saying? So it's really like using your brain nowadays, bro. You got to fight the system a little bit, but still play the game. You know what I mean? So yeah. Any more questions?
Yeah, I have one. Before I say it though, I just want to say that like all of that, like everything you're saying is exactly like what I've been thinking and feeling too. Like for my upcoming mixtape, I've been planning like, okay, what's a listening party I can do? How can I get local people to show up even when they've never heard of me? Like what are interesting ways that I can think about that? And that's exactly what you were saying with like the events and stuff. So
yeah, bro.
I think that's really, really great advice. And it helps to hear someone who has been in the industry saying that. It helps kind of with my confidence levels and stuff like that.
Absolutely, man.
In terms of the question, you mentioned a couple times that moment of feeling like, oh, I've made it and like now I know what I'm doing, right? And I think for me, one thing I've struggled with is kind of like the overthinking element of like, am I doing the right thing? Am I like going down the right path? How do I know that I'm like headed in the right direction? And so what would you say for all of us who haven't had that moment yet is like the thing that we should be doing in order to kind of like get there or to deal with the potential overthinking or self-doubt that might arise on the way there?
I think and that's a great question though, because I think everybody needs to understand like this is like it's a life's journey. It's not sports. You know, this is not something that you just gonna go work out for and then I'm good as hell and then go hit the ball and then you make $1 million. It's just not like that. You know what I mean? This is really a test of will and skill, because if you don't have the skills and your stuff is not making people turn their heads, then that's a whole nother thing. But as far as like what's gonna help like continue to support you, even if you don't have the other people supporting you, is just like going with the flow, bro. Like regardless of what people or what you think or the self-doubt, like I feel like it's like trusting yourself or trusting the universe or God or whoever y'all worship or who believe in, like trusting that you like I'm fully in love with this one thing, right? I'm gonna give my all to this one thing. And that was me, bro. Like, because I had this thing where I had a plan A and I didn't really have a plan B on purpose. And that's because I didn't see myself doing nothing else but doing this once I start really getting into it. And regardless of what, again, obviously along the way, people have said, yeah, I don't like these beats. I don't like this. I don't like that. I don't like that. You know what I mean? I had a ex-girlfriend who said, I didn't like none of your music. That actually made me stop recording. You see what I'm saying?
Mm.
So you do need that support, but also you can't really care. You know, I'm at the point to right now where it just doesn't matter. Like music is an art, bro. It's not to be judged. But we our culture, the music culture, spends so much time on judging the art instead
Mhm.
of experiencing it, regardless if it sounds good or not. You know what I mean? It's an experience. It's what this person wanted to express. You know what I mean? And I think confidence should be in that because that's going to be the only way that you're going to make it to the point where you say, you know what, people respect me for what I do and they respect me enough to tell me the truth about it. Yes, some people like it, some people don't. If
Mhm.
you don't like it, tell me exactly what you don't like about it so that I can go back and get better instead of just being like, oh man, she don't like this. You know, he don't
Mhm.
like this. That's what my ex-girlfriend did. She was like, oh, I was like, well, I can't really, go back and correct it because I don't even know how. So I think it's just important to be ready to stand on your own too, bro, when it comes to especially if you're doing it by yourself. You can't have
Mhm.
self-doubt with this. Like a lot of
Right.
artists gonna second guess themselves based off your own preference. That's good to do. But you
Mhm.
can't second guess yourself to the point where you're not putting your stuff out or you're over, like you said, overthinking. Overthinking
Mhm.
is the death of art because now it's becoming thought. It's not expressed. It's not my feeling. When I'm giving my pure feeling and I'm closing my eyes and I'm playing the keyboard, how can I pre-think that? It's all based
Right.
off reaction at that point. So at the
Mhm.
end of the day, sometimes you got to go with the flow and just like, okay, if like, and people don't realize, let's talk about Playboy Cardi. A lot of his first music was distorted or like XXX Extension, right? Distorted
Right.
music, right? Very distorted. When I first heard it, I'm like, this kind of sound crazy. Like, I can't play this. But who
The
cares?
fruity wave shaper.
Yeah. But at the end of the day, who cares? They made a sound now. Now that's the sound. Now people want their stuff distorted. Add some distortion. You know what I mean? So it's like maybe whatever you coming up in that room that you're not overthinking about is what could take you to the next level. But a lot of times when you don't have the full confidence in your own sound, you tend to overthink. But like I said, that means we need to go to engineering. We need to make sure, if you're gonna mix your own stuff, mixing it with the knowledge of people that they say it on the internet. They have so many videos. If you don't know how to engineer or anything like that, guys, please go get these YouTube videos and we'll start posting some.
YouTube University.
Yeah, man.
Facts.
Because like I said, I can get on here and show y'all how to do all this stuff, but it's so many other people do it. I feel like it's pointless. I can tell y'all
Yes,
some other
sir.
stuff. You know what I mean? So, but yeah, Lincoln, I think that is what you got to do. Just trust yourself. Trust your own art to the point where you say, you know what? I'm gonna put this out. I don't want it to sound crazy. I want it to sound different and weird.
Mhm.
Because the more you do that, the more people gonna get used to it and say, you know what? Let me turn this Lincoln on because that shit is different. And I'm tired of hearing Megan Thee Stallion right now. Like, you did what I'm saying? So it's just that is what's needed. The different, the not
Right.
sure, because the not sure turns into the beautiful art piece.
Okay. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I like that.
For sure.
Lincoln, J.reid, is it okay if I say something real quick?
Yeah.
I just want to share a story with you, right? So when I got to New York, and I want to say it was about 2009, right? I
Okay.
left college and I went back to New York, and I graduated, but my whole thing was I love music so much that I wanted to do music, and my uncle was not going to help me unless I graduated college.
Mm.
So I went above and beyond. I did 8 classes my freshman year, 4 classes in this session, and continued that same drive all the way till I had basically all the credits I needed in my junior year. And then they flipped the script on me. I had to do night classes and so that really messed me up because um I was just so used to being a morning person, right? But I say that to you is because when I had so much doubt in myself, when I finally accomplished like getting in the room, like I was
Mm.
finally now being seen for my talent. And it was crazy because I didn't have no doubt when I was getting through the the classes, and like my mind was just determined. I'm getting out of here so I can get to New York and finally be in a studio. And the first situation that I got put in was with Soul Diggers, K Mac and Bless.
Okay.
And at the time they were working with Sherry Dennis and the song Portrait of Love. And
Okay.
I was in the background, right? And just watching everything take place and just happy to be there, right? But I didn't think I looked like everybody else in the room. Here
Mm.
I am coming from college. I don't, you know what I mean? And I'm in New York. If you anybody knows about New York, you need to have your shit together, and it's about image, especially at that time,
For
right?
sure.
And so I'm also dark skinned, right?
Right.
When the light's not really on me. Like, so that was another thing that was against me because they're like, oh, you're a dark skinned artist, blah, 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 blah. So
Mm.
I say all that to you to say is one day I tried to fit in, so to speak, right? So I went and got a fly ass lineup. I got these nice earrings and I got this chain on, right? And my uncle told me to pull up to the studio. So
Mm.
here I come in, and I don't know what he got me coming here for, but I pull up, I go in, and my uncle looked at me and like, and he just looked at me like, what the fuck? What? He pulled me to the side and he's like, take that out your ear, take that out your ear, take that off your neck, take that out. Right? He made me take everything off. And I
Mm.
was confused because here I am looking in this room and they all look amazing. Like, bro, they already look like superstars.
Right.
And me, he done made me take off my little chain, my earrings, and everything. And the crazy part was, they had me go into the room. It was about 5 people, and I sang for them. And these other people went in as well. And at the end, they have you waiting, bro, for a while sometimes. After about 30 minutes, I get called into the room, and I find out that I got chosen for the writing camp. Now
Okay.
I'm trying to figure out why I got chosen. I go to my uncle and I said, but I don't look nothing like them. And he said, and that was the reason you got chosen.
Mm.
Because sometimes they don't want to see a finished product. They
Mm.
want to see what they can build with you, who they can put around you, and see their vision come to life. You get what I'm saying? And
Absolutely.
even
Uh-huh.
though these are different times now, definitely different. Like I said, that was back in early 2009, 2010, 2011. The
Right.
game has changed so much, but you have to sometimes know that you are good enough, you are capable, and you are put in that room for a reason. So you've already shown up. So you just have to continue on that road.
Absolutely.
But I just wanted to share that with you because sometimes what you
Awesome.
see is not what the world sees. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Your
Absolutely.
insecurities, they may see somebody that's just super dope, and that's all they see. So don't give them that light into into how you're feeling about yourself because they may not even see that at all.
Right. And they, like you said, 90% of the time they don't, unless you
Hmm.
actually act on it. You know what I'm saying? So that was a
Mhm.
great story. I appreciate that, Malik, man. And like you said, man, you got to keep pushing, man. It's
Yes, sir.
the world is for the different and weird. The superstar lane
Mhm.
is for the different and weird. So,
Mhm.
you know, your music needs to be that way and got to reflect that way too. Just uniqueness. Like when we was coming up in the 90s, bro, like it was a Pharrell, it was a Timbaland, it was a Snoop, a Dr. Dre, it was a Swiss Beats,
Everywhere.
and none of these cats beats were the same.
Mhm.
Dark Child, uh, you know, what's the guy? Just Blaze,
Track masters.
Track Masters. You see what I'm saying? None of these cats beats were the same. Then you came down here, you got the Dungeon Family, you know,
Hmm.
or you
Mhm.
got the Master P, Manny Fresh. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what gave music its element because we was like, oh my God, I want to do music, dog. I swear to God, everybody. Because it's like, bro, these cats, they over here, they got cash money, they making the chain music and the bling bling and the New York, they on the gangster sample hard stuff, the West Coast, they just, it's just like we had so much to go off of. Now everybody wants the same beat. Everybody want to talk about the
Mhm.
same exact thing. Even if they did or did not live that life. You see what I'm saying? It's a packaged up show right now. And that's why people are turning away from it because it's not fun no more. It's not inspiring. When everybody gonna turn this thing
Nah,
on and
man.
everybody doing the exact same thing somebody else doing. Time somebody say, I want to eat, I want to shake my ass, I want to do this, I want somebody else is doing the same as that line. They not even changing it up. You see
You
what I'm
know what,
saying?
man? I feel like people forgot the element of having fun. Like
Yeah,
music
because
used to
this,
be
bruh,
fun, man.
it's this. It became a way to get out the hood and make money, supposedly, and it's not. It's all a facade because guess what? How hard is it to get noticed by anybody these days? But everybody and their mama is a rapper, and everybody and their mama rap about the same exact stuff, and that shit do not go nowhere. I heard somebody
Right.
say, okay, we got the hip hop has not been on the Billboard for the last 35 years. Or last week, it hadn't been on the Billboard for the first time in 35 years, right? Eh, But at the end of the day, can you blame them? There's nothing going
No.
on.
It ain't nothing but
Yeah,
talk about everybody beefing and killing it. You know what I'm
there you
saying?
go.
Like,
So now we ain't selling no records and we not on the radio. Especially rap males, they're not on the radio no more. They took them off the radio completely.
it's just the
So
women right now.
yeah, it's just the women, which is cool. But at the end of the day,
Yeah,
now you
right.
slice the whole rap game in half and you say, you know what? Y'all ain't ready to grow up and make different kind of music. We just gonna work with them. At
Yes.
least they can have fun. And that's what they've been doing. They shaking ass and having fun.
Right.
You can't blame them.
It ain't hurt nobody.
It ain't hurting nobody. Niggas ain't got, I'm sorry, but they ain't getting killed with no female
Right.
music. That just,
It's dangerous to be a rapper right now.
yes,
Like,
bro. So that's what I'm saying. I noticed that 2 years ago, Wayne, when people were shooting up studios and stuff like that. So I'm like,
Listen,
you
mm-mm.
know what? Let's swivel this a little bit. Let's change the narrative. You know what I mean? And with social media,
Wow.
you can build whatever world you want to build.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to go to the club every night. You don't have to go to you just got to be consistent at this club every night.
mhm.
You know what I'm saying?
And it's what I like what you doing, man, because you got on school, and the biggest thing that you can talk about, like so far to me, is like you building your own community. You know,
Yeah.
you don't need everybody, or build your own community of people who, you know what I'm saying. This is what school is for.
Period, bro. It's 8 people in
Facts.
here, bro. It's 8 people in here, bro. I got 22 members. So
Mhm.
at the end of the day, I also believe in I don't believe in coincidences. I believe in I forgot the word, but it's supposed to happen. You know what I mean? I didn't care if it was gonna be 2 people in here. It was 6 people
Mhm.
Monday. It don't matter
Right.
because guess what? These 8 people that's in here is getting every piece of the sauce that I got to give. I'm not holding nothing back.
Absolutely.
You see what I'm saying? So
Absolutely.
whoever's supposed to hear this at this time, maybe y'all ready for it. Maybe they not. Maybe they still scared to come on here
That's
and
right.
introduce themselves. You did what I'm saying? Everybody not ready to show their face and get on here and talk and do stuff like that in order uh to build their own career. Y'all are serious. Y'all are on here. Y'all want to
You,
hear the real
you got to
story.
be at the network.
Yeah, because what's gonna happen, Wayne, and y'all that's on here now, I'm gonna be charging the top of the year. And
Facts.
also I won't be this Friday, next Friday. I'm not gonna be charging for people to play their beats and we collab and stuff. But top of the year, I'm gonna be charging. You're gonna have a premium membership, $25 a month to come in here collab and show this to show off your skills. Because
Real
why?
talk.
I'm giving away free sauce,
Hmm.
but I know if I was a bigger producer or I was a asshole, I'll be trying to milk y'all for everything y'all got. Because guess what? I know and y'all don't. Or I've been there and y'all
Right.
haven't yet. So, but that's not in my interest. I don't have that interest. That's why I did it for free. Because guess what? Y'all deserve to hear this type of stuff, man. Because these cats ain't coming on here trying to tell y'all nothing. That's the whole point. And I'm blowing that hole wide open. Because in a minute, just like I said, Bricks is doing his thing. He has a different way of teaching probably than I do. So what I'm doing is
Mhm.
providing myself. I'm providing myself, my personality, the way I speak and talk about things. it may be different from everybody. So I want to make that the most
Mhm.
engaging part, other than just, oh, y'all get on here and I'm gonna tell y'all how y'all beat sound for $30 a piece. Like, who cares? Like, I can play, y'all can play a million beats and I can take all y'all money and who gonna go somewhere? What
Right.
we gonna do?
Exactly.
I'm gonna be over here got money. Y'all gonna be trying to get the opportunities, and I'm not gonna be giving them. That doesn't make any freaking sense to me.
Mm-mm-mm.
So why do it? I'm not fooling nobody. I ain't got nothing to hide. So let's make something from scratch. Let's build something from that. Like, this 8 people in this room could be the next superstar producers, right? We can have the next
Facts.
superstar producer group. We could be, you know what I'm saying? That's how I think. I don't think like, oh, I'm just, no. Y'all on here, if one of y'all sent me a loop a piece and we all traded loops, that's how people work in the studio.
Absolutely.
So think about that. Like, on Friday, I do want to do something like that. I do want y'all to think about ways that we could collab and collaborate in this group, because now we got some real producers. We got people who's serious. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
J.reid,
Yo,
quick question. Because obviously with the community, you're interested in working with, you know, people who do music. My
yes.
boy, my boy Jonathan Watts is he's now here in Georgia,
Okay.
and super talented. If you look him up, he just became a Grammy award winner as well for the Chris Brown album.
Okay.
And I was telling him about you about 2 weeks ago, and so I'm coming to Atlanta. I'm in Macon, Georgia.
Okay.
Um, I moved the top May 1st back out here, but I'll be back in Atlanta. So I wanted to introduce y'all. You know, if that's a
Definitely.
possibility.
Yeah, for sure. Let's do that. Let's make that happen, man. Like you said, I know Ryan said he came to Atlanta, so I said, man, if I got some sessions, man, I definitely pull up. You know what I mean? So let's definitely make these kind of connections. I know Bricks is having some kind of retreat here in a couple days. I think I'm gonna hit him up. I'm gonna try to pull up to that too. So
Yes,
definitely
we
go
can.
check out his page. What'd you say, Ryan? I think he said something. But I think that's probably why Ryan here too, because he's trying to go to the Bricks thing. So definitely tap in with Bricks. His producer pathway is a dope page. So he got 6,000 members over there. So definitely tap in with him. I definitely appreciate y'all coming. If we ain't got no more questions and stuff, man, yeah, we've been on here about an hour and a half. That's a good little class, you know. We saved some for the next week. Like I said, I got my boy David Pelham. He's a publisher. He's dope as hell. He'll be able to answer any kind of publishing questions y'all got. Like, he gonna give y'all all the sauce, like how you really earn money and all that kind of stuff. So
Mm-hmm.
definitely pull up next Wednesday. Wednesday, I'm gonna hold that day for like guest appearances. Monday, we can tap in. Like, that'll probably be off and on Mondays. You know, I just, you know, when I got time. But Wednesday and Fridays for sure. Because Fridays I want to start doing consistent, because I want to do the collab sessions and I want y'all to play y'all music. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, top of the year, I am gonna be charging for that, because I know I'm about to be marketing. And like I said, thank y'all for telling other people as well. That's gonna help us grow. So like you said, get as many people you can in now, and let's work with these people. Let's get everybody kind of involved in what we're doing and shit, man. I think it's gonna be a great situation. So again, I appreciate
Absolutely.
all y'all popping in, man. It's amazing, man, for y'all coming, man. So definitely thank you. And
Hey
if anybody
Chevy,
got
That's what's up.
what up, TJ?
I was gonna also say if you ever need help with making promo or like stuff to market with, I can help you out because I do be making stuff in Canva and stuff, so I
Oh,
can
okay.
make some videos and stuff for you. So like help promote the
That'll
Chevy
be,
Music thing.
yes,
If you
sir.
got
That'll be,
like any logo.
uh-oh. And it went off. He was talking about the logos. Yes, I do have logos, TJ. That's crazy. Okay, there
Yeah,
you
it's
go.
times.
I
That's what's
don't
up.
I don't know what happened, but I was saying like if you got like any logos and stuff,
Okay.
you can send them to me and I can like make different backgrounds in Canva and like put them into videos and stuff so that we can promote this shit like it really need to be promoted.
On God, because shit, a couple bars promote, reposted it. But like you said, I kind of was late. I had some stuff to do, and I'm working on the project too. So shit, I'm trying to get this thing going, man. So definitely, like, in the future, I like you said, we all need to be having a song with each other, man. That's the whole point of this. Like, we need to be networking and working amongst each other. You know what I mean? So
Yes.
Definitely
This a
tap in
toolbox.
Friday. Friday probably be like 9 o'clock, late night where everybody get a little chill time. Start around
Right.
9 and probably like I said, come on here, got your beats, get your 3, 4, 5 of your best beats. We're gonna listen to your beats. It would give some opinions. Shit, we might even do like a little everybody get their little cards up. We put for judging 1 to 10. We just go like that. So everybody ain't feeling no kind of way. Everybody holds your card. What you give it? You give it a 9, you give it a 9, that's it. All right, then you know it's good. You know if it's a 1, it ain't good.
For
You know what I
sure.
mean? So no hard feelings, but we need to be honest with each other so we can all grow and develop, bro. And develop
Absolutely.
hard skin because you're gonna get a lot of no's. You know what I'm saying? So if you get a no now, don't take it to heart. It's all business, and these are people who have ears just like you. And we need everybody's opinion. You need everybody's opinion. You don't need just my opinion, because my opinion is one opinion. You need the collective.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? So
Yes,
put
sir.
your
Yes,
hard
sir.
hat on, get ready to do some tough skin exercises on Friday. You know what I'm saying?
All right, bet it up, bet it up.
Yeah, so yeah, I'll probably have some promoted too for that. So, like I said, definitely appreciate y'all pulling up, and it's recorded. So I'm gonna see how I gotta share this as well. So thank y'all, bro, again.
Yeah, thank you.
Peace,
Thank you.
everybody. It was good tapping in with y'all, man.
Yes,
Everybody
sir.
tap in with
Everybody be
each other.
safe.
Let's keep going.
All right, yeah.
Be safe.
Please be
Have a good
safe.
night, y'all.
All right, thank y'all, man. All
Yeah.
right.